Okay, Thomas, we were just discussing Sasquatch hunting deer, and what was your take on that as we were just discussing?
I think the Montreal Canadiens will take the cup this year.
The Montreal Canadiens will take the cup. He's not talking about the jockstrap cup.
even though the Sasquatch, did you want to ask that question again since I ruined that shot?
No, go,
okay.
No. This is you.
I think the Sasquatch is not a big game predator by habit. I think it probably wouldn't give up an opportunity, but I don't think they make a habit of it. Because if it was, I really believe we would have farmers and ranchers reporting missing livestock from remote, ranches and farms that border on the wilderness areas every year. We don't seem to have that.
Right.
We do get reports of bears and everything stealing that, but nothing unusual like a Sasquatch. They don't seem to be natural predators in the sense that they don't seem to have, fangs or claws, but they are undoubtedly big enough and strong enough to do it.
Okay.
They may have I have no doubt they probably scavenge on things.
Right.
And they no doubt eat all kinds of vegetable matter. Like an area like this is probably like a salad bar to them. But
now,
fish and small animals and stuff like that. But I really know of no reports in British Columbia where someone has actually watched one kill large game.
That includes deer.
Yeah. Small things, squirrels, rabbits, things like that, fish, they've been known to take chickens and things like that.
Right.
But not large game.
Now, you and Brad were just talking about a sighting that occurred in Alberta. Mm-hmm. Brad, you want to mention that one again?
I actually read it in Thomas's book. A hunter who shot a moose and then watched a large hairy biped come out of the bush and pursue the wounded moose.
Yeah, it was the early 80s. It was near Sundre, Alberta. He was out moose hunting. He shot the moose. The moose went down, got up, started to wander off, and this creature came out of the tree line and was watching the moose, took a look at the hunter, and then started following the moose. And he actually started following them, and believe it or not, he was more concerned about losing the moose than anything else.
Right.
And he followed the blood trail into this area of thick bush, lodgepole pine, and looking for the moose. He wasn't finding it, but looking around, the Sasquatch he had seen following his moose was looking right at him. And it had this bewildered look on its face, and he just stared at it for a few moments. He raised his rifle, and as soon as he raised the rifle, the thing turned and took off, and he fired a shot after it that he thought he saw sort of like skim of trees that went toward it, but he doesn't know if he hit it or not.
No, he was shooting at the Sasquatch.
Yeah, he was shooting at the Sasquatch. But he knows he didn't kill it because he didn't find the body. He also didn't find the moose either, which irritated him the most.
Now, you said that, what year was this again that it happened?
Early 1980s. I believe 1981, but I have to double check on that.
And how did you learn about that?
He contacted me answering to an ad I had in the press, and he came to my house and I interviewed him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have that interview on audio?
Yes.
We'll have to...
Yeah, I think his name was Schmutz or something like that. I can't remember. I'd have to look that up again, too. That was a long time ago.
We're going to have to post that audio.
Yeah.
Okay.
My take on the Sasquatch and big game, although they don't have the fangs and the teeth, they have the speed, the strength, and the endurance
no doubt
to pursue a deer or a moose or an elk, which are only good for a few hundred yards of high speed.
Could be.
And if you keep on their tail all the time, persistently, hour after hour, eventually they wear out, and they'll just stand there.
Yeah.
You can walk right up to them.
Yep. It may be an opportunist, during the calving season or something, like snatch a young one or something like that, things like that, Who knows? I mean, they may indeed kill large predators every now and then. I mean, even chimpanzees go hunting and have meat to subsidize their mainly vegetarian diet every now and then. No reason to think the Sasquatch doesn't, but I don't think they make a habit of it. They're not something that constantly requires big game.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're pretty much eat vegetation as far as we see and we know, and small rodent type animals that opportunistic.
Yeah, pretty much opportunistic omnivores like we are.
Yeah.
Right now, Brad, we're standing in the Statlu Creek watershed right now, and your sighting was back in what year?
It was about 35 years ago, which would make it about 1980.
1980, an old sighting from an old man.
Yeah, here you go.
And that happened in the Norris Creek watershed, which is behind me.
Right.
And
the valley right over there behind you.
Okay, and about how far would you say crow flies from here to there?
From here to there, 15 kilometers maybe.
Yeah, I agree about that. If that.
Yep.
If that. All right.
Actually, not just a sighting, also a track find at a different time.
Right.
In late spring snow, we'd done something like this, come up a logging road to where the snow started, didn't want to drive any further, but there were tracks up the hillside from there, and that particular road goes into a dip between the mountains and into the next valley over.
And I may add, along with Brett's sighting in Norris Valley, there was also two other ones I looked into, one by the two hunters in 1989, and the one seen by the lady on the high rock ledge by Norris Creek Bridge down where the swimming area is in 2003.
Yeah, near the Inch Creek fish hatchery, but up on the mountain. I guess that would be DeRoche Mountain.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. And Brad has he had that footprint find and that encounter, and he has more bush time than anyone that I actually know. Thomas is probably second, but Brad definitely, if he's not...
well, that's only because I'm older than dirt.
That's why you're number one.
I'm older than most of the trees down here.
He never gave up hunting.
Yeah, he never gave up hunting.
I think that's his initials carved in that thumb.
Yeah, with stone tools. All right, thank you, Joe.